Today we're going to try to animate some buttons dynamically on the NA-HMI, the Omron NA-HMI, and we're going to animate them from using ladder from the PLC side. So the first thing we need to do is create a little bit of ladder. So I've set up a controller and an HMI in the project. So let's, on the controller, let's do a little bit of ladder. And I've already set up two variables. One is just for input, and the other one is going to be for output. Okay, so that's all I have to do on the PLC side to set it up, is just have ladder. On the HMI side, I've got to set up those variables and pull them across first. So the first thing I do is go to variable mapping, new controller, user variables, and you can see I've done that. I've pulled those variables across. I just set it, the PLC side is here. I gave them the same name on the HMI side, down both ways. So now let's go to a page. Let's put a couple of objects on it. So the first thing we do is go to Toolbox, and let's do a lamp. But instead of turn the lamp off and on, we're going to, or illuminating it off and on, then we're going to make it visible off and on. Let's do a shape. Let's do a triangle. And maybe let's even do something like a gauge. Okay, now to make things visible, you have to control the animation. That's an animation function. So if you don't have it on one of the tabs down here at the bottom, you have to add it. You can find that up here in the screen, and there's an animation button and an events and action button in the toolbar. So select those and it will create the tabs down on the lower right hand side. So now if I highlight the object I want and double click, you see the properties bar, and it's the properties is highlighted. It does have an is visible option, but that's a fixed option. There's a place for an expression. We're not going to use an expression for this example, but if we leave it highlighted and click on the animation button, we get an animation for that object. So if we do the pull down, visibility is one of the options. And for the expression, I can just use one of those variables that I passed over from the PLC. So there's the expression. So that one's done. Now let's do the shape and do the same thing. Okay, that takes care of that. Now let's do the gauge. Okay, so I've set all the objects to be triggered, the visibility to be triggered from a bit that's being passed from the PLC. Now let's try that out. So let's go to simulation, and we'll do a both controller and HMI simulation. Okay, there's our HMI, and you'll notice nothing's visible on our simulation. That's because that bit's not turned on. So let's try that out. Let's verify that. Let's go to the controller, go to the ladder, zoom that up so we can see most of the screen there, and now let's turn it on. Boom. So we're now controlling the visibility using the animation option. We're controlling the visibility of those objects. Thank you.